window. This is Michelle, and I'm your motivator, your spiritual evolutionist. In today's Michelleology, Evolution Meditation. Welcome into the morning. As we begin this day, we must be very grateful and thankful that you are in this present moment, that you have another opportunity to make a footprint in today, to explore, to create, to imaginate, to meditate, to give thanks, to be grateful, to alternate your way of being, to ignite your light. It's so many avenues that you can take an opportunity in today. Okay, today we're going to begin our day with deep breathing. Sometime this week, we're going to do a live on deep breathing because it is very important to allow yourself to open up your day with everything, the toxins, with everything that has, hold on one second. Okay, with everything that has caused you to be toxic. You don't want to start your day out toxic because there's so many entities that you're going to deal with on today that you don't want to be toxic. So here we are in this space and place that we can meditate, that we can call to be those things that are not as if they already were. If you've already cursed your day by saying, oh, it's Monday, I don't want to go to work, I don't want to do this, I don't want to that. Come on, let's retract that. So we're going to do a live later this week on breathing, deep breathing, meditation, because meditation is your medication. We're going to do a lot of fun things this week, but we're going to start out first with deep breathing. We're going to take it from our root chakra to our crown chakra. Allow yourself to feel the breath as it rises from the bottom of your base, the base stem, the backbone of your spine. Allow it to go and feel it. Focus on feeling the air just rising and then taking you to the top. And this is how your life is supposed to be. Rising from the root, the grounding, all the way to the top, to the crown, where the most spiritual place you can be, because your government is on your shoulders. And so we must acknowledge the crown as kingdom people. You know how important it is for a queen or a king to wear the crown. It signifies that you are kingdom material, that you're God beings, that you're anointed, and that you're a creator, you're co-creating with God. And so as we begin to feel that today, whew, that's some good stuff. It's giving me tingles. It allows us to hold our head up, straighten up our back, and realize we are somebody in this place and in this space and in this kingdom. And so it allows us to be, not try to be, but it allows us to be. So this is what we need to do. Breathe. Release the toxins. Let it go all the way down to the bottom of your feet. Breathe in. Breathe in. As we release the very things that are trying to trap us in this day. Come on now, let's move to something greater. Okay? So as we begin to breathe, we begin to expand the air into all our organs, into our aura. We begin to breathe life into our day. It's not just enough to shallow breathe, but deep breathing gives you energy. It rejuvenates your brain. It rejuvenates your cells. It rejuvenates your chakras, your energy. It causes you to be ready for your day. No matter what you face today, you're going to face it and know that you have the rest solution for whatever it is that's trying to grip your soul. We don't allow things to come over us. We overcome things. Well, welcome into the morning. We're about to get ready on how to activate your imagination. Now, I know most of you thought that imagination was basically for kids, but kids use their imagination because they were so connected with God. The imagination allowed them to call things to be that we thought were not. They were calling, imagination deals with spiritualness. It allows you to see from your insight, not your eyesight. So a lot of people said, or not say, or possibly think that the imagination is not useful for you as being an adult, but it is definitely useful for you, because as you begin to activate that, remember, we live out of the imagination of God. And before, in the beginning, in Genesis, God had an imagination as to what it was he was going to speak and create. And so it's like a blueprint for your manifestation. And so as you go into your imagination has an eye, and it allows you to see from the inside out. And look at the word imagination. I imagine a nation is what I get out of imagination. So I'm imagining my nationality. I'm imagining this happening in the nation. I'm imagining all things. Those images, we were made in his image, in the mirror of God. I imagine, I image, I mirror. So you mirror what you see in your imagination, and it becomes a manifestation. Oh, this is good in neighborhood. This allows us the power of attraction to attract the very thing, not that we want, because once you want a thing, you create the want. You don't create the thing that you want. You have to will it, because you have a free will. And having a free will, it allows you to go forth in your creative power. This is good. So you got to take this. So in your imagination, you will have to see. There will be no words to it. It will just be a picture, an image. Imagination will give you a picture. It won't even have a word to it, especially the words that we've learned on this side. Some of those words that we learned are not what they say they are. They are what they wanted us to learn to be. Remember, we're not here to learn. We're here to remember. So we have to repent, go back to our original state of light, where the light shined in the darkness. In the beginning, the earth was dark and void until the light was created. And so we have to know that our salvation is based on Jesus being the light. He's the light of the world, and we're a light that cannot be hid. And once you have all that light, there is no darkness. What? Yes, there is no darkness. So the dark places of your life. This is what is so spectacular about this. I'm so excited about this. Is that the darkness that's in your life, the things that you call dark, can now be called light, because you can shine a light on it. The resolution in your imagination, you can see the opposite of that, which is the polarity. And you can create that. It's on the same spectrum. Hot and cold come out of the same faucet. It's just the way you turn it. The way you turn it, if you turn it to the left, it's hot. If you turn it to the right, it's cold. And so, but it comes out of the same spout. So what you have to do in your imagination is you have to be in authority of what the polarity of the situation is. You have to be the thermometer. You have to be the thermostat that begins to set the way this situation is going to turn out. If you have not taken authority, taking responsibility, taking your power, taking all the tools that you have been given by the Most High God, and begin to utilize them in your life, nothing just drops out of the sky. Faith has to be worked. And I'm not talking about on the job. I'm talking about, when I say work, exercise, practice, acknowledge, meditated on. You have to do all of those things. And so that's the work you have to put in. And if you don't put in that work, you won't eat. And we're not talking about physical food. We're talking about eat the good of the kingdom. What? Eat the good of the kingdom. And so in your imagination, you begin to see. You begin to have an insight. You begin to have a picture of what it is that you're about to create. And so sometimes you need to just spend time in the quiet, looking into your imagination, beginning to see those things. So I did a demonstration for myself on yesterday. Maybe not yesterday, maybe it was Saturday. And I took the very thing that I will to be in my life, the thing that was burning in my soul, that was burning in my heart, that I knew had to be. Let me turn this down a little bit. I knew it had to be. And so I closed my eyes and I imagined that situation. And the situation that I saw with my eyes closed was a door. And the door was closed. But as I began to see in my imagination the door open, I began to see to come out of the closet like an abundance of the very thing that I wanted. It wasn't money now. It was just an opportunity to speak in different places and multiple dates to begin to share what God gives me outside of doing the live. And I began to see August, September, October, November, December roll out of that door. And then all the dates from 1 to 31 roll out of that door. And it was like it was filled to the top. And so when the door opened, it just poured out. Whew, that's good. So when you begin to see that in your imagination, now I have activated the light on that. When the door was closed, it was darkness on it. But when I saw that the door opened, then I expel light on it. And so now that light is on it, life is in it. I have breathed breath into that thing that I will to be. And once you do that, you begin to attract. I'm going to begin to attract these dates. I'm going to share this testimony with you because I'm calling it now before it happens. Multiple dates of opportunities for motivational speaking, for teaching on meditation, for spiritual intervolutionist magnitude coming. All of these things to speak about my book. All of these dates begin to roll out because this is what I'm called to. And so if I can't see it, then it shall not be. And God says, I'll give you the land that you see. So I had to see it in my imagination in order for it to be. I had to call it before it will come. If you're not calling your dreams, your visions, your careers, your health, your wealth, if you're not calling those things, they're just not going to knock on your door because God has already put it in the atmosphere and he's giving you the power to pull it down out of the atmosphere, which is the imagination, to pull it down and manifest it in your present being. So let's talk imagination. Is it just for kids? No, this is not Silly Rabbits Tricks Are for Kids. This is for you. And as you begin to expand and open yourself up to the greatest version of you, your authenticity, the light that shines in you, that you're a God being, that you're a creator, that you're more than a conqueror, then you'll stop existing and start living, and you'll start utilizing the tools that God gave you before you were in your mother's womb, when he knew you, when he was intimate with you. Intimacy, when he got into you, when the light got into that dark place and you crawled into your mother's womb and you spent time in there with God. Most of us 9 months, some less than 9 months. And God was equipping us because the outside influence was not influencing us as much as the inside was. And the reason probably a baby cries when he comes out because he's coming out of the zone of the spiritual and into all of this three-dimensional craziness. And so we have to allow ourselves to imagine the greatest thing that could ever happen to you. And every day I ask my daughter, I say, Miracle, if there was anything that could happen for you today, what would it be? What would be the greatest thing that you would say that happened to you today? And so that's a question that you can ask yourself. Because as you ask yourself, you begin to ignite your imagination. You begin to see that thing happening. And you begin to get excited. You get the feeling, your touch. God is touched by your feeling. That feeling is not emotional. It's in your chakra. It's in your solar plexus. It's there. It's in that area where you feel it in your gut that this thing is going to happen. And so you assure yourself, not going to happen, that it's already happened, because you feel like it's already happened. And when you do that, you attract it to happen. See, you alone with God is a majority. And we need to stop crying over things and begin to get in our space, in our place of imagination and creativity. We are creators. And if we're not creating something, we're duplicating. And that's not how we were sent here to be. We're not duplicators. We are creators. And I will do a new thing. New mercies every day. You have all the equipment. You're just not utilizing it because you've been conditioned. You've been learned from the other side, and you're not from that side. You are a foreigner in this land. And so the foreigner is going to teach you foreign things. You have got to stop listening to the outside of you and go in. As you go in, you'll never be without. Once you know a thing, you can't unknow it. And once you know your value and your worth, you never have to prove yourself. So you take yourself to a lane of creativity, of going forth. Regardless of what someone's doing in the right lane or the left lane, you find and define yourself in your lane and you focus. When you're driving, you have to focus, pay attention, and be mindful. And so as we eliminate and annihilate all the distractions, we come into our imagination and we begin to see, we prophetically see, oh my God, you are a prophet and you're prophesying into your land. And we prophetically see the things that we have imagined, that we have imaged, that we have mirrored, that we are bringing into this nation. This right here will take you into a different dimension of your creativity. This launches you into freedom. It gives you that unconditional love for yourself, for God, and for others. It allows you not to be judgmental because you're in your own lane. It allows you not to compete or compare with other people. You just go forth in the greatest version of yourself. Man, this is going to allow you to be. Not try to be, but to be. So today, let's launch our imagination. Take a moment, if you have it, to just look into your imagination and see what it is that you will to be in your life. Will to do, to be, and to have. It allows the light to shine on it. You breathe breath into it. Remember, words are not words until you breathe the breath of life into them, and then they become a living soul. Why? Not because it's the word that you're breathing, the word becomes flesh. Not because that it's a word, it's because the power and the breath and the anointing that God has given you, and you're just like God. And if it wasn't before you got there, once He got there, it became. And so that same power is in you. And so things are not dead, they become alive. Things are not dark, they become light. Things are not impossible, they become possible. Things are not limited, they become unlimited. That's the power in you. That's why I bow to the divine presence in you when I enter into this space, because you don't know your divine plans and you don't know that you have a divine mind in the presence of a divine God. So as you begin to create your day, I feel something today, y'all. I'm telling you, this imagination thing is awesome. Begin to create the things for your life. Stop walking around in this low energy frequency, feeling like you can't, when you can. I can do all things through Christ, through the light, through the energy, through the power that strengthens me. What? Me? Mental equation? Yeah, we'll get to that later. But allow yourself, straighten up your back, hold up your head. Has nothing to do with your color, has to do with your content. So as we begin to move forward, as we begin to ignite the fire that's in us. As we begin to shine the light that shines within us, and we begin to expose darkness for what it is, then we allow ourselves to live on this journey. Don't be on your way to heaven and hate the trip. So as we go forth in this miraculous Monday, in this motivating Monday, in this mastering Monday, we're going to master our imagination and take time. Remember, you need to be spending at least 10% of the day focusing on your authentic self and creating 2 hours and 40 something minutes a day. Focusing on you. You focus on everything and everybody else. Now it's time to do some self-care. We talk about the pedicure, the manicure, taking care of ourselves, exercising and all that. But all of that is on the outside. What are you doing for self-care on the inside? Yes, we have to do that. We must do that. It is a requirement for us because that is where all your power is. This right here, it's going to pass away. It's temporary. So why would I spend so much time there? Now, let me stop. I'm not telling you to go around and look any kind of way on the outside. I'm telling you, don't spend more time getting this ready and your heart is dirty. And so as you do this, you become the greatest version of yourself. Yes. You know what? This word right here needs to be repeated. It needs to be shared. I thank HAPS TV for this platform that you will begin to utilize everything that's free to you. We're about to walk in some stuff now. And if you don't know it, you're not going to be able to grow it. It's going to be available to you. But if you're not awake, if you're not enlightened, if you're not walking around in your greatest version of yourself, if you don't know that you must return to your nationality, get your inheritance and your birthrights, then you'll walk around here still looking for normal. What they say, you'll be looking for me with a flashlight in the daylight. That's how it's going to be. You'll already be in the light, but you'll have a flashlight looking for the light. How can light look for light? You got to be light. I'm telling you something today now. I am telling you that this is the opportune time to exalt yourself in your imagination and begin to see insight, not eyesight. It's insight first before it ever becomes eyesight. When it becomes eyesight, you're bringing it from in. We've been working from the eyesight to the insight, but that doesn't work. You got to go in and then come out. You got to go in and then come out. And so we're going to work the imagination. And I promise you, if I be a woman of God, it is going to manifest for you great, great, great things. Okay? Well, don't forget about me. Mental Equation. Don't forget about me. Amazon.com. Pick up a copy of my writings. It is telling you about the mental equation, which is we serve God with our mind. So if our mind is out of whack or out of control, I said a mental disorder is what the devil is. When that spirit messes with your mind and your mentality and your memory. And so we must get our mental equation to add, divide, and subtract, and multiplying, all of those. So if you would do that, I would appreciate if you invest in me. Mental Equation. If you go to Amazon.com, you'll be able to get you a copy for 15 currency, not dollars, in 15 currency. So as you begin to do that, God is going to enlighten some things for you. My writing is not to learn. It's to help you to remember who you are. And it's revelational knowledge where the light is shined on some things that we've been walking around in darkness. So as we move forward in this, you have to spend 10% of your day working on you. Because I'm telling you, God is about to reveal something in this land. And if your insight is not sharp, you'll miss it. Because there'll be deception just like it is. There'll be condition just like it is. But if you're on the insight, God is going to bring to your remembrance the things that He have told you, the tools that He has given you, the intimacy, the things He has put into me, see the intimacy, the seed. It's time to grow that seed. It's not enough to say, I have a mustard seed of faith. You haven't planted it yet? It should be a stalk, a tree, or something by now. So, as we move forward in today on this Miraculous Monday, I'm Michelle. I'm your motivator. I'm your spiritual evolutionist. I am here to equip you with tools that is going to equip your life with the greatest version of yourself. Not trying to teach you anything, just trying to activate your memory. Yes, you already know this stuff. Can you believe you already know this stuff that I'm telling you? You just have not taken time to be mindful, focus, and pay attention to go back in so you never be without. Okay, let me stop. Well, you've been created by the Creator to be creative, so start creating your creations. You've been created by the Creator to be creative. So start creating your creations and stop duplicating. May the love, joy, peace, power, and sound mindedness be your soul food for today. Hey, listen, go to HAPS TV, download the app, begin to support me, and go ahead and get on there. There's some things you want to do or you will to do. Go ahead and get on there. It is an awesome avenue. It will link whatever you're saying to all your social media. So you only do it one time. Goes to YouTube, goes to Facebook, goes to all of your social medias, wherever they are, Instagram, everywhere. All you have to do is put it in there and then it begins to go there. So I'm grateful to HAPS TV for this platform to be able to come forth to you in today's Michelleology Evolution Meditation. May the love, joy, peace, power, and sound mindedness be your soul food for today as you walk in your imagination. Be blessed.